Patience is keeping you broke. And I know that is not what you've been told. Wealth will not just fall in your lap. You have to take action. The universe might be infinite, but compound interest is not. It is ruthlessly, mathematically bound by time. The reason you've been waiting isn't really about the money at all. It's about something that's happening in your body. Your nervous system has one job, and that is to keep you safe. That's it. Stillness is not safety. And the certainty that you are waiting for is probably not coming. Welcome to Rich and Regulated, where women learn to build wealth in alignment and flow. I'm Jessica Soul. For over a decade, I've helped women create the lives of their dreams, and here I'll share how I build wealth, fast-track results, and reveal money truths that will blow your mind. Let's get wealthy. Patience is keeping you broke. And I know that is not what you've been told, because you've been told to trust the process and wait for alignment and just to move when it feels right. But today I want to have an honest conversation with you about where that beautiful philosophy is quietly costing you everything. Because there is a version of patience that is wisdom. And then there is a version of patience that is just fear wearing a spiritual outfit. And I have helped hundreds of women to earn millions through all stages of life, through debt, through children, through divorce. And one thing that all of these women know is that wealth will not just fall in your lap. You have to take action. And so today we are covering the real cost of waiting, why your nervous system is actively working against you, and how to find what I call regulated urgency. The frequency that actually builds wealth without burning you out. So let's start with the numbers, because the numbers don't care about your feelings, and I can tell you they do not care about a Mercury retrograde either. The concept of divine timing is genuinely beautiful, and at some stages I believe in it. But I have also watched it become the single biggest reason that brilliant women do not build wealth. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of intelligence. Divine timing. I'm waiting for the right time to invest. I'll start when things settle down. I just don't feel ready yet. Here's what I need you to understand. The universe might be infinite, but compound interest is not. It is ruthlessly, mathematically bound by time. And so every year you wait, every single year, you are burning future wealth that you will never get back. And let me show you what I mean with real numbers, not theory, actual results. So one of my strategies can take $100,000 and turn it into over $300,000 in just over a year. Yes, you heard that right. This is not luck, and it's actually not magic either. It's approximately 8% compounding monthly, meaning every single month, the return gets reinvested and starts earning on their own returns. Month 1, you have $108,000. Month 3, $126,000. Month 6, $160,000. And by month 10, $219,000. Month 14, that's $300K in just over a year. And this is what I call a well-structured, risk-assessed compounding strategy. Now, compare this to your savings account, ladies, because the average Australian savings account right now pays around 4 to 5% annually. So on 100,000, that is at best 4,500 for the year. Meanwhile, inflation is running at about 3 to 4%. So you are essentially treading water and calling it safety. And let me bring it back to the basics too, because I want you to feel this personally. If you were to invest $10,000 at the age of 25 and never touch it again, with a very average and conservative market return, that money would grow to over $150,000 by retirement. Wait 10 years, however, and invest that same $10,000 at the age of 35, and it will only grow to around $76,000. Same money, same vehicle, a 10-year gap in timing, and it's cost you half of your wealth. Half of it gone. And not because you made a bad decision, because you made no decision. And here's where it gets even more critical, because choosing the right project matters as much as choosing the right timing. So the difference between a well-researched crypto position and a poorly chosen one with the same capital can be the difference between a 10x return and losing everything. And this is exactly why risk assessment isn't something to be afraid of. It's something that you ladies need to be educated on. It's not about being reckless. It's about being informed enough so that you can move with conviction. Because at the end of the day, the math does not care about your spiritual timeline. It does not care that you needed more time to feel certain. It just keeps compounding with or without you. And I can tell you from personal experience, I have lived this. After my divorce, I had a small amount of capital and I sat on it for 2 years. I told myself I was being careful. I told myself that I was waiting for the market to drop and waiting for a sign. And the truth, and I can say this now completely honestly, is that I was terrified of getting it wrong. And by the time I finally moved, the assets that I'd been watching had doubled in value. That patience cost me an entry position that I will never get back. And so here's what I want you to do after this episode. I want you to go and find the money sitting still in your life right now. The money that's sat in your savings account, your offset, wherever it lives. Pull up a free compound interest calculator online, and there are plenty of them, and plug in 100,000 at 8% monthly and watch what happens over 12 months. Then look at what the same money earns you in your savings account over the same period of time after you've accounted for inflation. Let that number make you uncomfortable. You're allowed to feel that, right? Because discomfort is your future self trying to get your attention. And when you feel it, I want you to know that you don't have to figure out the next step alone. I have a free community. It's called Crypto for Women, and we now have over 350 ladies inside already having these exact conversations. What to invest in, how to risk assess, how to start when you feel completely overwhelmed. Real talk, no jargon, no bro energy, just women building together. And the link is below this video, so come and join us. It's free, it's real, and I can tell you it will change how you see your financial future. Just quickly, guys, if you're a woman who's earning well but still feels like your money isn't working for you, I can help. My Build Your Wealth portal is the perfect place to begin, and for less than $100 a month, I'll teach you the exact groundwork that has allowed me to create freedom for my family. Just hit the link in the show notes to connect into my community today. Now back to the episode. Now, the reason you've been waiting isn't really about the money at all. It's about something that's happening in your body. Your nervous system has one job, and that is to keep you safe. That's it. And to your nervous system, anything unfamiliar is going to register as a potential threat. And so I want you to think about it like this. If your brain sees a lion, it is going to make you run. That system is working exactly as designed. But most of the time, we are not running from lions. So we're sitting with a laptop, looking at investment opportunities, and at the same time, ancient wiring is firing away, saying, stay still, stay safe, wrap yourself in a little blankie and don't move. And here's what makes it especially tricky for high-functioning women. We are so good at intellectualizing things, that freeze response that we don't even recognize as fear, we call patience. We call it due diligence. We call it not rushing. We build an entire sophisticated story around our stiffness that makes it feel like we're being responsible when really it's a nervous system response that is keeping us stuck and seemingly safe. And this is actually something I go deep on inside of Wealth AI, a project I've been building, because when you understand how your brain is literally wired to resist financial risk, and you learn how to work with that wiring instead of against it, everything shifts. Babe, your brain isn't broken, it's just doing its job. The problem is that its job was designed for a completely different world. And I want to say this with complete love and complete clarity. Stillness is not safety. And the certainty that you are waiting for is probably not coming. There is no amount of research, no extra course, no additional piece of information that will make a financial decision feel completely risk-free. What exists instead is education. And education creates nervous system regulation. And that is the real equation. This is how you move from frozen to flowing. And I see this constantly. A woman earning $250,000 a year who hasn't invested a single dollar. Not because she doesn't know how, because her body will not let her move. And the moment she understands that her patience is a nervous system pattern, not a character flaw, not wisdom, not strategy, everything unlocks. She stops waiting for permission and she starts building wealth. And so the next time you catch yourself saying, I'll do it later, about a financial decision, pause. Check in with your body before you check in with your brain. Is there a real strategic reason to wait? Or is your chest tight, your thoughts looping, your breathing shallow? If it's the second one, you're in freeze. And the way out of that freeze is never more information, babe. It's one small action. Transfer $50, open the account, join the community. Do one thing to break the pattern. Show your nervous system that there is safety in movement. So if patience is the trap, what is the answer? Because I'm not talking about panic. I'm not talking about throwing money at things impulsively because you feel behind. That's not it, and it's not what I teach. What I'm talking about is regulated urgency. And regulated urgency is the sweet spot between frantic, anxious, hustle, and slow, stagnant waiting. It's a deep clarity about what you're building and why, and combined with an absolute refusal to keep losing time. Urgency without regulation is panic. It's reactive, exhausting, and it does not build lasting wealth. But regulation without urgency, that's just comfortable stagnation dressed up as self-care. And the women who build real wealth, the ones I work with every single day, what they have done is they have found the middle ground. They move before they feel completely ready. They act while still holding fear. They're not waiting for a sign. They become the sign. And when I finally built my portfolio, I can tell you, I didn't wait until I understood every technical detail on the blockchain. I understood enough. I had a clear picture of the macroeconomic landscape that was shifting. I understood what fiat currency was doing. I had a map for short-term, medium-term, and long-term. I knew how to allocate my capital across different risk levels and time horizons. I felt the fear. I moved anyway. And that decision changed everything. And if you're still here thinking, I don't even know what capital allocation means, I don't know what liquidity means, I don't know where to start, then babe, this is exactly what my space was built for. That's the whole point. You don't need to arrive already knowing, you just need to arrive. So your action step right now is this. Identify one financial move that you have been putting off. One thing that lives at the back of your mind as something you already know you should be doing. Maybe it's opening a brokerage account. Maybe it's buying your first Bitcoin. Maybe it's simply joining a community of women who are already doing this. Give yourself 48 hours, not to research more, but just to take the first step. Just one, decide, and then move. I can tell you the universe is not waiting for you to be ready. It is just waiting for you to make a decision. Because patience without action isn't patience. It's procrastination with a better story. A more spiritual, more socially acceptable label for not making the moves. And I can tell you, every year you wait has a real mathematical compounding cost. And your nervous system will always try to keep you still. That's its job. But building wealth requires you to move anyway, with intention, with self-trust, and with the kind of urgency that says, I am worth building for. Right now, not later. Not when it feels safe, now. So if this episode landed, come and find me inside of Crypto for Women. We've got over 350 women building, learning, having real conversations about what feminine wealth creation actually looks like. And this space is totally free. The link is below. And if you want to go deeper on why so many women swing between burning out completely and doing nothing at all, that's exactly what we're covering next time. The link is below. I look forward to seeing you in there. Have a beautiful day. If you've gotten value from today's episode, make sure you subscribe and leave a 5-star review. And if you're ready for more support in building regulated wealth strategies, check out the link in the show notes. Have a beautiful day.